Attention. This is a disclaimer. After this, the audio drama follows. Note: this fanfiction is a completely fictitious narrative. Although the names of the BTS members are used, all described events, actions, and character representations are freely invented. This story has no relation to reality and is not in any official connection to BTS or its members.
The Legend of the Guardian Dragon. It was the night when darkness whispered, and the boundary between worlds became permeable. Halloween, the one night of the year when the veil between the world of the living and the world of spirits is at its thinnest. On this night, hidden powers that usually lie dormant are awakened. For BTS and their army, however, Halloween is more than a festival of spirits. It is the night when an ancient guardian spirit awakens, a purple, glittering dragon named Suholyong, streaked with galaxy-like colors. He is the embodiment of all the feelings armies hold for BTS: unwavering loyalty, deep affection, and the promise to never leave BTS alone. This dragon, a force born from the profound connection between BTS and their fans, awakens only once a year on this night. He rises into the sky to renew his strength, protect BTS from the darkness, and preserve the bond with ARMY. Year after year, he was sustained by the power of ARMY, a flame of devotion that never seemed to fade. But this year, everything was different. The world of ARMY had changed. The members of BTS were currently fulfilling their military or civil service duties, temporarily away from the stage. In this prolonged absence, some fans had lost patience, and many wondered if BTS would ever return, if they would change, if everything could ever be as it once was. Other fans battled doubts, not about BTS themselves, but about their own loyalty. They questioned if they were strong enough to endure this time apart. These doubts, coupled with the mounting pressure from toxic media and envious outsiders, had summoned something dark and menacing. A black, impenetrable mist had formed, a sinister energy that absorbed the world's doubts, fears, and hatred. The mist grew relentlessly, driving its cold fingers into the hearts of the BTS members, who themselves were plagued by dark thoughts and self-doubt. The connection that had once strengthened the bond between BTS and ARMY began to falter, and with it, so did the dragon. As the dragon awoke on this Halloween night, he immediately sensed something was wrong. His scales, usually glowing in vibrant galaxy purple hues, appeared pale and dull. His wings, which once carried him powerfully into the sky, trembled and faltered, as if every movement were a struggle. The energy that usually enveloped him was barely perceptible. The dragon realized his strength was threatened by a sinister shadow, fed by the hate and envy of detractors and toxic media. They had driven a rift into the protective bond with ARMY, leaving them all vulnerable. He felt how the loyalty that had always supported him and BTS was wavering under the weight of these dark forces. But he knew that the strength of ARMY was the only hope to stand against the growing darkness. Despite all his weakness, he was determined to fulfill his duty. He would fight to drive away the darkness, but to do so, he needed the strength of ARMY. Only their shared devotion could break the power of the mist and protect BTS from the impending doom. The dragon gathered all his remaining strength and began to ascend into the night sky. But the mist seemed to sense his intentions. With a hissing sound, it rose, a dark mass that spread like a black veil across the night, blocking the dragon's path. The darkness seemed to consume all light, and with each passing second, the dragon felt his strength draining further. He recalled the countless nights when he had risen full of strength and brilliance, carried by ARMY's unwavering loyalty. But this time, the darkness felt stronger than ever. The black mist crawled toward him, trying to envelop his scales, which had already lost their luster from the weakened bond with ARMY. The dragon knew he couldn't defeat this darkness alone. If ARMY didn't find a spark of their old strength within themselves, the mist would sever the final link between BTS and their fans once and for all. Meanwhile, armies around the world felt an undefined restlessness, a longing and a growing uncertainty. Many felt a deep need to reaffirm their support for BTS, to do something that went beyond words. They missed the members with all their hearts, and the more negative the media reported on BTS, the stronger the urge to protect their idols grew. These unjust attacks were almost unbearable, and the armies felt even more compelled to stand up for BTS and not give up. In fact, even new fans joined in, inspired by this wave of injustice to fight for BTS. Through social media and in quiet moments, they began to spread messages of loyalty and courage.
We are always with you.
BTS is 7?
Only 7.
They whispered, sometimes softly in front of the screen, sometimes shouting into the night sky, hoping their words would reach the boys and give them strength. Unbeknownst to them, they crossed the invisible boundary and fed the dragon of loyalty with a renewed flame. They whispered, sometimes softly in front of the screen, sometimes shouting into the night sky, hoping their words would reach the boys and give them strength. Unbeknownst to them, they crossed the invisible boundary and fed the dragon of loyalty with a renewed flame. With every heartbeat of ARMY pulsing in the darkness, the light grew brighter, as if their united strength were recalling a long-lost hope. The messages of loyalty pouring in from every corner of the world that Halloween night wove together into a radiant web of light, bravely battling against the suffocating mist. But the mist was a tenacious monster that refused to give up. It wrapped itself around the dragon like a ravenous shadow, pulling him into the endless depths of its darkness. The dragon fought, struggling against the suffocating grip of the mist, but despite the strength that ARMY sent him, he felt the deep pain flowing from the hearts of the BTS members. On this night, they questioned whether they could ever meet the expectations of their loyal fans, and whether ARMY would be able to keep the light of hope alive despite their absence. But ARMY did not give up. They called into the darkness, wrote messages of encouragement and comfort, reminding the band that their love remained unchanged, regardless of the stage, regardless of the distance. The dragon drew new hope as the light pouring from the hearts of the fans flooded through him. With one final, powerful flap of his wings, he shot upward, breaking through the barrier of the mist. He soared into the sky, into the universe, spreading his brilliantly shining wings that scattered a glittering rain of light and energy into the world. Every glittering drop that touched the black mist caused it to ignite in purple flames, until the mist shrank smaller, and its power waned. It didn't disappear entirely, for haters, envy, and toxic media would always exist. But ARMY and BTS would never again allow these dark forces to gain the upper hand. They were defeated by the indestructible strength of a love that could never be broken. On this Halloween night, the bond between BTS and their ARMY had been renewed, stronger than ever before. The dragon, now filled with the concentrated power of ARMY's loyalty and devotion, spread his wings triumphantly and slowly vanished into the universe, knowing that BTS would forever be safe in the hearts of their fans, until the day they would return and far beyond.